Hello, and today we're playing Warcraft Rumble, and we're doing Sneed before Greed. So this build I made here is going to be quite interesting. We got our Huntress, which we just played down to hopefully get the chest in time. Maybe not. Wolf should be able to actually take her out. Hopefully she can get some Harpies on her way out, and she does. There comes my safe pilot, which I also have equipped in this. Sadly, we lost our Huntress. Now, we also have the meat wagon, the Turin warrior, and the sheep emoji. Sorry, not sheep emoji. Sheep spell with the bat rider, just because I think it would fit perfectly for this build. So as you can see here, we got the bat rider demolishing all those chickens. We got some fried chicken there, dropping that awesome huntress down to block. The meat wagon is not in the right situation. It basically became fodder. I'm still trying to work out how and where I want to place these units. I think probably putting the meat wagon down the center would be the better option, as it would probably slowly take the chest. Boom! And Sneed could probably come up on one of the two sides, which would be a nice pressure, you know, to ensure that the enemy's not going for those chests and I can get them first. So that's what we're trying right here. Sneed should be able to deal with Hogger, no problem, especially for the fact that he's got the safe pallet. We're also going to put the bat rider, on the right hand side, and we got that chest perfectly with the meat wagon, which I'm actually really happy about. Adding some more resources, dropping my secondary siege unit, which is Sneed. What is great about this build is the fact that I have a lot of units that can actually basically solo a turret, which means it's a lot of pressure I'm applying, forcing my opponent to counter. Now, obviously, if I had a lot of talents and trait for Sneed, I'd be able to gather a lot of resources. Look at that meat wagon, taking that chest way before Hogger could, which is great, adding to my resource bar. Now, I do believe placing the meat wagon down the middle is probably the best bet. It's also allowing me to collect those chests. Since the meat wagon moves so slow, it gives enough time for them to spawn. And let's say he does pass through the mid without collecting a chest, then we're just going to have extra pressure adding to the enemy and they have to counter. Look at that. The chest spawns, giving me those extra resources without any issue. Now, my safe pilot is doing a fantastic job up there collecting that. Now, we burnt those chickens, turning them into fried chicken. We're going to put the meat wagon on the right-hand side because he already sent a nice counter down the middle. Now, I'm adding more pressure. Now, the bat rider is ideal. It does so much damage to ground units and actually is tanky enough to not have to worry about the turrets too much. By the way, the turret change with these dragon turrets is really annoying. It destroys my Spam-A-Lot meta chance, and I love Spam-A-Lot. It's hilarious. Oh, we weren't able to get that chest there, but we're doing a lot of damage to his base. This could actually be it. He has no counter on that side, and there I go. And that's game, which is actually really enjoyable. Now, I'm obviously trying my best to rank up as much as possible, but I want to be able to play almost every character in PvP mode. I have a couple characters that are about 1200-ish points, which is really nice. So we're going to send in our safe pilot there just so we can collect the resources as early as possible. He does have his commander down the middle. Personally, I think that is the worst commander in the game, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, he's tanky, but he really doesn't do much damage, and it's not as tanky as he should be compared to other units. Now, my safe pilot is not going to survive, so I had no choice but to use my sheep there. We also got my Huntress coming down, destroying the enemy kobold. I think the safe pilot's still going to go down. Ooh, the Huntress does step over the bridge. My turret, yes, perfect. My siege weapon survives. The bat rider and Sneed are going to go up the left-hand side. Now, the issue I'm going to have here is that I hope I can take out the Fire Naga. If not, it's okay. It's all right, and I don't. But he's at such low health, he's not really going to be able to do much. And we're going to drop another meat cannon down the middle so he can just ramp up some damage, doing some nice damage to their main base, which I actually really love. The chest spawns just in time, and I'm watching the left turret. It probably is going to fall as well. Perfect resources right there. Now we just got to deal with their commander, and we do take the left-hand turret. Now dropping Sneed on the right-hand side because we want to force pressure. Force them away from the left-hand side while doing damage. We're going to use our nice polymorph here. Oh no, my Tauren warrior is about to drop. Come on, work, perfect, and he's saved. Now we got a very good force going towards my enemy base. This gives us a massive opportunity to end the game actually right now, which is nice because we have two massive siege units and a bat rider. Why do I keep mixing up that name? We also have another meat cannon, and we're coming in. This should be enough. I'm also going to place my next Turin once he comes up because I think it would probably be perfect right here. Going to drop him down just to give an extra charge towards their base in case they do summon anything. And this should be GG. That's actually a beautiful Blizzard placement from the enemy, but my Tauren charge was just enough to destroy their base, giving us the point victory. Now, as you can see there, Sneed is actually a really low level, and the reason for that is I don't really use Sneed. This is actually my first time playing him today, so it's quite interesting to see because I just thought he was bad. but I'll be honest with you, he's a lot better than that Dragonkin. That Dragonkin is terrible. We were able to collect one of the chests for resources. We also have a turret and a meat cannon coming down the middle with the safe. I'm probably going to use polymorph so I can get the enemy commander right here and get rid of him. Perfect. And this should give me a chance to clear the board so only my units are on. We collect our resources with our kobold. Sadly, he was finally able to get some gold right there. He does have an abomination, which is going to turn this in his favor right here down the middle, as I don't really have any more spells. I'm pretty sure he should be. Yeah, he does. He pulls in my siege unit and easily takes it out. That's one of the things I do like about the abomination. Now I'm applying pressure on the left hand side. Hopefully I can take the turret. One of the other things I'm going to have to worry about is the fact that he has a very tanky build. I'm assuming he also has a lot of spells because of the commander he's using. Those spells allows his commander to level up very easily. So as you can see, we got that, which is perfect. Getting ready to use our polymorph right here so my huntress can survive, and we do it. And it works perfectly. We also got it off on the enemy commander, and there he goes, exploded. Sadly, my meat cannon got destroyed by his ghoul and is probably going to heal up no problem. So we're going to send in our turret, and let's see what we have to do. We're going to have to send our meat cannon, our bat rider, and our Sneed in most likely 3 different lanes. If we're going to combo up, we're going to use Sneed and the bat rider at the same time because that is a very nice build push. So we're doing a little damage to his base, but we also got the abomination coming down low. The reason I put the bat rider in the middle because the abomination can't hit air, and that fire is just going to do massive damage to him. If I have to, I'm going to have to use the polymorph. Sadly, he was able to collect that chest before I could use the polymorph to stop him, but that's totally okay. We're going to make sure we get rid of him here because I don't want to have to deal with him. Probably saving. Also, my safe pilot is good. As you can see, that nice secondary chest goes up. My meat cannon, however, is doing some nice damage, forcing that ghoul to go back and forth. But my meat cannon's probably going to lose in the end. Oh yeah, look at that. He summons an abomination. So we need to make sure to spend our units or resources very carefully so we can defend a lot of his pushes. Thankfully, I have polymorph because I don't believe without polymorph I would have been able to defend most of these. Now, with that being said, we still need to do damage to his base. And thankfully, the bat rider is going to probably be the best unit I have to reach the enemy base to do some damage. Because with that overtime, the more damage I do to him will come out in our favor at the end. I don't have enough for that, but the chests in the middle are coming up. So I'm thinking about using the safe pilot instead, since Turn Warrior should be able to hold off a little longer. Plus, it will allow me to ensure that he doesn't get it, and we don't actually have to use polymorph anymore. They were able to clear it. Thankfully, that fire does so much damage. We're going to send our siege weapon down the middle. I don't think they're going to take that turret, but it's going to apply pressure, which is necessary. We're going to have to place on the bat rider. Again, he does have some whelps, which do a lot of damage, also clearing out the sky units. Now, look at that. His commander is right there. Hopefully, my bat rider is able to take that commander out. If not, it is totally okay. There goes my safe pilot at the right time, and he at least does some damage to their enemy commander. Come on, safe pilot. You're going to be able to charge up your gun here. Shoot it off, and it's close enough, but not nearly what is needed to do some damage to take him out. Now, we're going to place down this. We're going to place down the bat rider as well. And I'm pretty sure with polymorph, we can probably ensure that we don't have to deal with this abomination right here. So I'm getting ready to use it, but we're going to have to deal with the enemy leader in a little bit as well. There comes out the polymorph, and look at that. The fire and the stabs from the front of the meat cannon are working. I don't think the meat cannon is going to survive, but we're definitely clearing out the enemies in the mid lane, and the Tauren Warrior comes out. He should win the fight against the Ghoul, no problem, and the Bat Rider is uncontested, but he's going to be in a second simply for the commander and the enemy team walking through the middle. There goes the enemy Cobalt getting destroyed. We also looking to use the safe pilot. Hopefully it does enough damage. No, it doesn't, but the Bat Rider does, adding to the fire, taking out the enemy commander, and the one in the middle lane is doing so much damage right now. It's fantastic, but he's not going to survive thanks to those whelps for the enemy. But look at that. We're running out of time here. We're going into overtime soon. So all I really have to do is hold off, and I'm pretty sure in those last 10 seconds, we're going to be able to come out victorious. That's what we're going to do. Use all our units right now. Burn it out. We're just placing to counter every single avenue of enemy units that are coming out. We're going to use polymorph as they come closer because we're in the last couple seconds. That's all we need. No extra damage. And there we go, giving us the victory for this round. Long scuffed wins like this are hilarious to watch in my personal opinion. All right, so we're going to go into another game right here. We're still trying to perfect this build because we want to see different things we can go up against before we start to hit real players in the PvP match. Now, one of the main things about this build that I know for sure that I always do is place the meat cannon down the middle to collect. Ooh, the enemy has those knights and Jaina. That's a very interesting tactic. But imagine one polymorph right there into the safe pilot doing so much damage as she charges up. Boom! There goes all the sheep. Sadly, my meat cannon is going to get taken out there. but my Bat Rider makes it to the enemy secondary base and dropping that fire down, which is really nice. The turret is also coming. He's going to charge in and take Jaina Proudmoore out like she was nothing. We got a Bat Warrior and a Siege Weapon on opposite sides right now, making its way down. The Siege Cannon, however, is not going to make its way because of that unit coming towards it. There's no way he's going to be able to take it out, as you can see there, but the Huntress might be able to. She's dishing as much damage as possible on the enemy. We also have that Dwarf walking down the middle. He's going to revive. There it goes. My Huntress is a GG. So I'm also going to place my safe palette and watch the damage my Bat Rider is doing as that Dwarf comes down. It makes no sense for me to use anything to clear it out, really, since, you know, my turret is more than enough to, but we need to do more damage to the enemy base. He's going to charge down the middle, giving us those resources, coming down with the Siege Weapon to add some extra value, with the Bat Rider to add pressure. Let's see what he's going to do with his units. And there we go. We clear all the enemies that were close to our base. There goes the poor Kobold, man. I also need to place to get it. We're going to look to use our sheep as they get closer, but the reason we cancel, because I think placing the Kobold would have been better. And since those knights can't really hit the Bat Rider, it doesn't really make sense to waste that sheep. Look at that nice meat being thrown, doing a lot of damage to the enemies. It would have been great if he stopped right in range. Thankfully, my Kobold is collecting those resources before he gets destroyed. I'm going to place down my safe palette. I mistimed it a little bit. I thought the chest would have been up already. I guess, I don't know. Oh, it is. Okay, I missed it by a couple of seconds. I think that's one of the things that's very important, timing when those chests are coming up, so you can either get units already moving towards it, or you can collect it and save your resources to launch units towards that set. Now, those resources are obviously very impactful for the game, as well as the mines, but I would say always prioritize the chests if that's what you can collect, because the cobalt mining is always something you can change up. We're doing a lot of damage to the enemy base right now. We have a massive little contingent coming down the side. I had to switch to arrow. I just realized they were walking to the wrong way, and the meat cannon comes out, destroying that dark iron dwarf, which was actually very good, which means I don't have to worry about range. I'm pretty sure we should be able to get that left-hand turret unless he summons something really bad and out of the ordinary. One more hit from the safe palette should do it, and there it goes. We're also going to be able to collect these nice chests that just spawned. That's so perfect about the meat cannon, allowing it to roll down at such a slow pace, which allows it to spawn up after you wait a couple seconds. Now, he has a contingent coming down the middle and the left-hand side, but it's not going to be enough. With this nice Bat Rider, going to easily be able to demolish them, dropping down a siege weapon because we're going to start to move in on the enemy base. As you can see there, the Huntress and Sneed doing massive damage. He only has maybe like 10% left. And look at that, Jaina Proudmoore's there, but she could not survive the onslaught, and I'm pretty sure this is GG right here, and it is. Hopefully we get some nice experience to Sneed, and we do, which is fantastic. Moving on to the next game right here, we're going up against one of my favorite commanders, Razorflank, which I love the ability that she has, allowing me to literally summon high-tier units for such cheap costs. I know it's random, and it can be vary depending on when you're playing, but I just love it. Huntress going through the middle, collecting those chests really fast. He hasn't really placed anything much on the field, and he just did, which is quite interesting. That Pyromancer is going to be the main issue I have here. Now, I use my Polymorph there. I probably shouldn't, but we're going to time the safe pilot. Hopefully she comes down in time, and she does clear out that whole little contingent right there. No issues. Already doing damage to the enemy base with that Huntress, and we're coming in trying to get the secondary turret. The Pyromancer needs to go. Oh no, he does use the Banshee to take over my unit, and they're going to easily probably clear my Huntress. Thankfully, she cleared 2 units before she died, which was actually worth her golden value. Now we're dropping the Bat Rider since the turret doesn't really have any option but to walk on the ground since he can't hit the sky or throw his axe up. Nice little siege weapon, and I didn't expect him to actually be in range to hit the turn. I guess he wanted revenge for his friends. Who knows? I'm thinking about placing the Huntress, but you know what? No, I'm just going to keep saving up gold right now and get for a larger contingent as we see what the enemy plays. So he does have the Pyromancer back on, and we thankfully were able to collect the secondary chest, which means more resources to me. We also have an enemy Huntress, and as you can see, the Torrent's probably easily going to be able to take him out. No worries. The enemy units are basically going to be clearing the board. Thankfully, we also collected the Pyromancer. And you know what I just realized, guys? I just realized I had 10 gold there. I wasted a lot of time, which actually was not the smartest option right there. And there we go in, taking out Razorflank, which is his commander. And there goes the Turin, but he's not going to be able to destroy that contingent. As you can clearly see, Sneed and the Firebat easily demolishing them. Getting ready to use the safe pallet. Is it going to be enough? No, that sucks. Honestly, I thought that would have been in range to destroy the Banshee. Thankfully, my siege weapon did not get destroyed. We do have Harpies coming down the right-hand side to worry about. and we're dropping the Bat Rider there, but they turn immediately, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. The Tauren, however, is going to have a problem and probably going to die very soon. We do have the middle path going down, which we're probably going to get some damage off on his base, which is something I'm looking forward to. Should we place the safe pilot down? Nah, you know what? This Huntress is better at eliminating them. Probably going to save the safe pilot for another time. And look at that, more damage to the enemy base as we're coming down here. Sneed's going down the middle. I don't think he's able to win this fight, but we're about to see. So we're going to drop down our safe pilot. Thankfully, if we're lucky, it's going to eliminate the Pyromancer. And now we're going to take his turret like it's nothing. The Huntress is so strong. Now the siege turret going down the right, all we have to do now is focus on the enemy base, since he's not going to be sending anything anytime soon to recapture his secondary turret. And we won the middle path, which is good, dropping down another Sneed, which is my commander again, who does oh, he used polymorph. I didn't know he had polymorph. That's quite interesting. He could have used that at a lot of different times, which would have probably saved his turret if he thought about it. But there we go, GG, and that works out in our favor, giving us more points to Sneed, which is our nice commander. Now, Sneed versus Greed overall, this build is quite interesting, and I will say I do like it. It's not my favorite build, however, it makes me enjoy Sneed a decent amount. So we're going to look to collect these chests down the middle. We're dropping the turret only because he dropped one as well, and we don't want to lose our siege. Wait, what? Why did they just take damage? What did he use? Did he use Arcane Blast or something? I'm not 100% sure, but he did use something, and I think we may win the fight down the middle. Who knows? We're dropping a Bat Rider on the right, and a Huntress was already on the left-hand side. Now, down the middle, however, it looks like we lost that fight, but it's totally fine. It's not that bad. It's about even. He does have his commander coming down, and on the left-hand side with my Huntress, she's going to get eliminated. She was uncontested for a very long time. Sneed should be able to clear this. No worries right now. We're going to drop some support for him in a little bit. I'm kind of figuring out what to place for my Tauren warrior that's coming in right here. Probably going to recast mine as well so they can charge in on each other. It's the best way to stop anything else from happening. So we're going to use it right here. And boom, they canceled it out, so my turret does not take any damage. And Sneed is coming down, easily collecting that beautiful chest there, adding to my resources, dropping our fire bat, which is going to eliminate them and the chickens that were coming in to destroy us. Look at that bonus gold there. This is what I really like about Sneed, is the fact that you're able to gain that extra gold when you collect those chests. I love how those units just canceled out each other. We do have a nice contingent coming on the left-hand side. If we're lucky, they'll be able to cancel out that turret. If not, we're just going to keep pushing in. And look at that, 2 siege units. He's countering one side, but not the other. And this is going to be a lot of damage he's going to be taking. I don't think that was a smart choice, but it happened. I think what he was trying to do was ensure that he didn't really have to place 2 units. He hoped Grommash would have gone straight down and targeted both of them, but sadly, he was wrong. And my Hunter should be able to clear out those chickens. That was actually a pretty close call, but we still collected the chest, which is actually what I wanted. We're going to drop the turret to stop Grommash, as that Bat Rider is doing a lot of damage to him. The enemy turret, however, comes in and eliminates my Huntress as Sneed walks down the right-hand side, ready to do some nice chainsaw damage to the enemy base, grinding them away. So we're going to use Sheep here on the enemy turret. Oh, I used it a little too early. I think I used it a little too early, as it's not going to be enough to destroy him. He's going to get out of Sheep like it's no tomorrow. As you can see, he pops out. He's going to charge in, take out my siege weapon, but my safe pilot may be able to do enough damage, and he won't. I just misplaced 2 units really bad, unless I get, yeah, 2 units. Bad placement, and he's collecting gold resources. He's going to do some damage to my base. I need to be very careful on how I'm dealing with this. There you go. He charges in. Sneed's going down the middle to collect extra resources for me right now, as I'm hoping to be able to take down the left-hand side with minimal damage if possible. Now, we're looking to place down my Tauren warrior. He's going to charge in, take out the Dark Ion, and now we're getting a lot of resources coming in, which is going to work in my favor. Now, my Sneed and the enemy Tauren is going to combat each other. Now, the first time Sneed was able to win, I could just use my polymorph, which makes this a lot easier for my commander, and it does. Look at him shred him away. Now, the units on the right-hand side should cancel each other out. It's great. Now, on the left-hand side, they aren't strong enough. They're going to get eliminated by that turret easily, and the Huntress is coming in. We're almost over in this game. We're heading into overtime, so we need to be very careful of what's going on. I don't want to go all the way down, as I think he only has a little bit of health, and we can more than eliminate him out. Now, the Huntress is doing some nice damage to the enemy turret, chunking him as much as possible. Perfect. And we're collecting this chest right here. Now, I think there's a lot of things I could probably change about this build. One of the main things is I'm not sure how I feel about the safe pilot, or if it's really needed. I could probably switch it out with an air unit maybe, but I do like the fact that I have so many siege weapons in this build. It makes it very enjoyable. Well, not a lot of siege weapons. I just like the meat cannon and the bat rider. I could consider the bat rider a siege weapon only because of the amount of damage it can do to some of the bases and tank a lot of the damage that they dish out towards it. There comes in my safe pilot. I do like the fact that Sneed's able to gather the gold from the chest and double it up, but I think more talents for the units in this build is something I need to work on. That is probably the hardest part, is getting a lot of the talents for the units you have. I really want the one for the Dark Spiritual, which allows him to heal, and there we go, GG. It's a great game, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.